Hey everybody, thanks for watching. A couple months ago I put up some videos about a different way of training that I had come up with based on some of the scientific papers that I had read and really what gets things to stick. Not just because I saw that there's a huge difference in the things that'll make you immediately better, and that's basically how all golf lessons and a lot of how people train golf is structured. Things that will make you like immediately better, but they saw that the things that make you start to get something right away are they don't stick around for a long time. So when I talk about like stickiness, that's why a lot of times you'll be striping it by the end of a golf lesson or a range session, but then when you go out to play later, it feels like nothing has stuck. So this is a totally different way to train that you'll probably end up feeling at the end of your session like, oh man, like I'm hitting it worse now than when I got here. But it'll slowly start, and this is what is seen in the research, is that when they look back at the stickiness or the resonance of it, like into the future for like, weeks and months later, it really starts to stick. And as you do this for a while, it really starts to build on top of each other, and you get some really deep learning, and you can really start to move forward. Like a lot of the Be Better golfers that I talk to through the channel, a lot of them talk about being plateaued, like they just haven't gotten any better. Well, this is something that has been proven in a lot of different sports, and it's starting to be proven in golf, will get you better. So the thing that I did back in those videos a couple of months ago is I made a deck of cards based on this kind of training. On this deck of cards, I put dozens and dozens of different things on here of different golfers. Like that's like a Raymond Floyd shot, ball position way to the front. This is with your lead foot all the way to the back and hit a fade. So all these Lee Trevino style swing, get really high in the backswing, hit a driver, do a Ryan Moore style swing. So when you're using the card, like if I got that Lee Trevino card and then it says fade on there, so I'd stand like Lee Trevino and it would say low fade and I'd hit low fade, or it would say high draw and I'd have to stand like Lee Trevino and try to hit a high draw, or whatever it is. The idea is this thing called stochastic resonance, where you do all these different kinds of swings and you start to find where your middle is, because they've seen that in repeating the perfect thing again and again and again, it actually makes all your skills a lot more fragile. Like if I was to be here and just trace the line back and through the plane again and again and again, the idea of muscle memory doesn't really work. What really would work would be if I took it out here and then I had to find my way here, and then I took it out here and then I had to find my way here. Or if I stood on all kinds of different constraints, like if I stood on something wobbly and I had to somehow find my way to the plane, and here, wobbly, somehow find my way to the plane. Doing all of that stuff really makes you then have to self-correct rather than having like something in the way or other things like that that kind of guides you. So there's a doctor, a PhD out of Finland, that saw these videos that I made about the cards and about this different kind of learning that's popping up in a lot of the academic literature about athletics. And he is a PhD in, I think, motor learning and computer science, like a combo PhD. And he said, well, instead of the cards, he's like, he thought this was so cool and just kind of did it as a hobby, even though it took a long time to do. He made this app called the Swing Skill Builder. So if you go to the App Store and you look up Swing Skill Builder, you'll see it on there. So this is essentially the same kind of training as the cards, only instead of with the cards up and down, it'd be like 100 different variations. This is actually 10 million different variations. So just going through the app, you can go through the training mode. See, it has standard, and these are the different things you're working on. Standard, club face strike, ball flight, drill, external focus, and golf course shot. We can talk more about what each one of those does, but just to go into standard mode. And then also it has on here some sliders. So here it's got a normal shot probability. So if you take it all the way up to 1, that means that every single shot, it's just gonna give you a different, so we'll go into that actually. We'll go into that. And so it says, normal shot, just a get it and play drive, and then you say pass that, play the opening shot on a par 3 of your choice, full wedge, play the opening shot on a par 4 with out of bounds on the left side. So it just, that is like the most basic mode about how to use this, which is great for random practice, but we're trying to go beyond just random practice into, so you could just use the app for that, and that would be very good, especially like before a round of golf. I would say do that. But if you want to like really challenge the limits of your motor control in order to get your standard much better, which is basically how this works. We're going to go into a standard training mode. I think the best way to show you is just to go into it. The other slider it has on here that's very cool is this driver selection probability. So if you went to 1, that would mean that every single shot is driver. Because driver is so important, the developer of this app put this slider on there to make sure that you're hitting enough drivers in a range session. So I'm going to hit new session and we're going to go into it. So this is so the first thing, it says 3-wood, and it says take a wide stance and you want to strike it on the club face normal center. So that's pretty simple. And you can make this as, and you can, it has different settings. Like you can make this like, this is on the pro setting, so it's going to spit out like a lot of different constraints of what you have to do. So right now I have a wide stance, 3-wood, normal center. Okay. So for me, I'm going to take this real wide stance. And so now the challenge is, just like on the golf course, when you never know sometimes what kind of shot you're going to be facing next. That's why playing a lot of golf a lot of times will make you a lot better than actually going out and hitting the range all the time. All right, so wide stance 3-wood. That was good. I hit my target stick. Just a little low, but it was all right. So then I hit pass on this. And the thing is with this, actually, it's not like a lot of normal things where like you would hope to eventually get to where you hit every single one of these 100%. If you're getting to where you're hitting it 100%, you just don't have your challenge point high enough. So you actually would like to fail about 70% of the time, something like that. Okay, so here, and then, so now it's going to a more normal shot. Play the opening shot of a par 4 with water on the left side. So then it's challenging your brain. So you're having to flip-flop from training mode into like actual golf course shots. So the whole thing with this is that I'm going to be doing a longer term test with people to see if they get any better with this than they would just like a control group, like training on their own. So I'll let you guys know the results of that. But also, as you guys are using the app, let me know, stay consistent with it. Let me know how it's working for you. All right, so it says water on the left side. Okay, right here, water on the left. Okay, so that would have been up the right-hand side, so that'd be a pass. All right, driver. All right, so this is one of the ones where there's a lot of constraints to do. So the club face at address has to be closed. The backswing length is very short, but then hit a normal height slice. So this is one of those things that is what's called, or I'm calling anyway, counterindicated, which means that you have to set up in a way that's opposite to how you would normally set up to hit this shot. So I have to hit a normal height slice, but I have to do it with a closed face and a short backswing. So the tough part about that is that usually for a slice, I'd take slightly open face, long backswing. So it's all random how it feeds these to you, but so I have to somehow figure out what do I have to do to make the good thing happen. And that's really where the learning is. So I got the face shut. Oh, I did it. Actually, I hit the fence. Okay. Okay, play the opening shot of a par 4 with out of bounds on the right. All right. Out of bounds on the right. So last time there was water left, now there's water right. See, I hit that, so I avoided the out of bounds on the right, and I hit it straight, but then it kind of half snap hooked. I'm going to give that a fail. All right, play the opening shot of a medium length par 3, your choice. See, I probably have my normal for the type of training I want to do. probably have my normal shot probability too high. So after this shot, I'll change that. Par 3 my choice, so we're gonna say 200-yard par 3. Here's a 5-iron. Right at those trees. So pass fast, all I wanna do is pass this one. Oh, perfect. Okay, so I pass that. All right, so now we're gonna go on to like a little bit more like deep training. So we're gonna go to take our normal shot probability to 0, our driver selection probability less. Okay, 5-iron, grip down a lot on the club and hit a low fade. Okay, so here's 5-iron. And I really think that this is like, from what I'm seeing, this is the type of training, especially for golfers. I don't know about beginners. We'd have to test beginners out on this, but a lot of the plateaued golfers that you feel like you've been taking lessons for a while, this will really unlock your creativity and just get your feels back a lot. All right, low fade with the club gripped up. So almost all the way to the steel and hit a low fade. Yeah, that's a low fade. That's a pass. A normal center, hit a low hook with your driver. So I was doing this type of training with somebody once, and I think one of the training thing was like, don't move your legs at all. And they said, well, that's already my fault. Why would I want to do something that's my fault? You have to like kind of practice your faults almost just as much as the fix, because you have to start to learn like why you make that fault. All right, so a low hook, but hit it in the center of the face. Well, that's a low hook. Didn't quite center it though, so we're gonna say fail though. Failed that one. All right, 9-iron. So this is one of the cool ones I like. Normal height draw, a 9-iron, but the tempo has to be really fast. So when it starts messing with your tempo or it starts messing with your height, that's when some of these can get really tough. So if this was one of my cards, I would have written Nick Price. So we're gonna try to have fast tempo, normal height draw. No, it did not draw. I had good fast tempo, but I failed that one. There's a mode on here just called external focus. We'll just go to that real quick. Yeah, see, so like 3-wood low slice, high slice, normal height straight shot, normal low shot, normal draw height. Like all those things should be things that are just totally external to you. So it's not going to tell you how to do it, but just going to tell you what shot to do, and it's up to you to figure it out. So now I'm going to go to training mode drill, and this is probably my favorite way to use it. All right, here's a tough one. Driver, make a full swing, but swing so slowly that you only hit the ball 50% of your normal distance. So that means don't go short. You're still making a full swing. Okay, that was a pass there. A little overdraw, but that's a pass. Drill. Take your normal stance, then move your leading foot beside your trailing foot. As you start the backswing, take a step with your leading foot and plant it to where it started from. The backswing and the side step should begin at the same time. So this is drill mode. It's like all these different drills, but I wouldn't really call them drills. I would call them kind of constraints that you have to figure out how to do it. So we go like this, okay? That's a real good one. Wedge, feet together, you get the idea. Let's go back to training mode standard and new session. All right, this one I like, 4-iron. So it's mixing up random practice with this stochastic resonance of making you do all these different things. And I mean it kind of makes your brain sweat. It's hard work, but it's a lot of fun as well. All right, knee bended address very little, so I'm gonna be standing top, and the club's gonna be way across the line at the top of the backswing and it hit a slice. So that's like this, and then slice it. This. It faded, but it didn't slice. Let's call that a fail. Although I did pretty good at that. 8-iron, high slice. Nope, just a fade, not a slice. I could have overdone that. driver, all right, this is one of the strange ones. The right hip has to be higher at the start. Hit a low hook. Nope, not a low hook. So this one is challenging me. A normal height slice with driver. All right, this one I can get on the leaderboard. That's a normal height slice. That's a good one. Driver tempo, very fast with a low fade. Okay, so this is going to be like a Nick Bryce tempo or a Stenson tempo, low fade. So I just got to figure out, okay, how to do this athletically. Yep. Wedge, fast backswing and slow downswing with a high draw. Oh, that was a good one. So you guys get the point. It is all different types of things. Spine alignment would be tilted to the right and high on the toe. Move leading knee towards the trailing knee on the backswing. Let's try that one. So because some of these can get pretty extreme, and then you can, you know, in the way that you actually do it, you can go as extreme or not. Like if it says quiet knees, you could take that to mean a 0 knee movement, or you could, you know, just have a little less. This one, we're going to move this one to there a lot. So, oh, I hit it really good. Uh-oh. I actually hit that out on the golf course by accident, but I hit it really good. Yeah, so it's called Swing Skill Builder. It's on the App Store. Check it out. Let me know what you guys think. It is developed by this guy who is a big fan of Be Better Golf and a good supporter of the channel. Always sends me cool ideas and stuff. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.